Hello everyone, here we are going to discuss a new lesson from your NCERT textbook Hornbill, and the lesson is Discovering Tut, the Saga Continues by A.R. Williams. Here this chapter is regarding the last heir of the great pharaoh dynasty, Tutankhamun. He died in his teenage after ruling for 9 years, and his death gave birth to a mystery. This chapter talks about all the possible mysteries, the curse where his tomb is lying, his whole life, and finally his death. Discovering Tut, the saga continues. Let's have a detailed discussion over the lesson. Tutankhamun was the last leader of the great pharaoh dynasty. He was young when he died. According to some people, his death was a murder. In the year 1922, his tomb was exposed by Howard Carter, an archaeologist. After 80 years, he was taken for CT scan to solve the mystery of his life and death through a forensic reconstruction. His father or grandfather, Amenhotep III, was a very powerful pharaoh ruler over a period of 40 years. Moreover, his son, Amenhotep IV, succeeded him and initiated the strangest period in the history of Egypt. His name changed to Akhenaten, which means servant of Athens, and he changed the religious capital from Thebes to Amarna. Later, he attacked Amun, a god, ruined his images and shut his temples. Another mysterious ruler thrived him, who died very soon. Tutankhamun sat on the power and ruled for 9 years. When Tutankhamun's mummified body was found, he had loads of gold and wealth. Carter got him after so many years. After conducting the research on the treasures, he planned to examine his 3 nested boxes. Many parts of the treasure in the tomb were already misplaced. His tomb was found rock-cut 26 feet under the ground, which also had some wall paintings. It reveals that he was suppressed in the months of April or March. One of the coffin put Carter into trouble. The gums used to paste Tut to the lowest of the solid gold. Coffin was toughening enough that it made impossible to displace. He put the box in the sun for numerous hours so that the resins loose up, but that didn't work. Alas, he removed the adhesive with the chisel and hammer. Carter sensed he didn't have any other choices than cutting the mummy from limb to limb. These would have robbed the gold and the treasures. His men first removed the head of the mummy, then they cut off each and every joint. After the process of removing all the body parts, they placed it on the layer of sand. They kept the parts in a wooden box and placed it at the original place. Later, in January 2009, the body was taken for CT scan, which takes hundreds of X-rays and generates a 3D image. That night after the scan, the workman passed his body from the tomb in a box. They went through the ramp and stairs and lifted the body on a hydraulic trailer that was holding the scanner. The scanner suddenly stopped working and the process of the CT scan stopped. After the use of a pair of spare fans, the scan was finally completed. After 3 hours, they transferred his body back to his tomb, where his body is now resting in peace. Here, to conclude the lesson, Discovering Tut, the saga continues, which tells us that Tutankhamun, also known as Tut, was a brave ruler of the great pharaoh dynasty. He died in a mysterious death and is resting in peace in his tomb now. I hope it is very clear to you. Thank you all.